Hello everyone, I'm Lisa and I've just blown in. And today we are back with more Seduce Me 2, the Demon Wolf. Last time we completed Sam's path, or one of Sam's paths, and today we are going to finally be wrapping up all of Sam's paths, hopefully. I don't know if we're going to get it all done in one session, but it's my hope. Mostly because at this point, I will be using the skip button a lot, because I am more interested in showing you all the content versus repeating a lot of the content, because there is great swaths of this game that does repeat itself ad nauseum. So if you are interested in seeing all the dialogue from the start, I do recommend going to the beginning of Sam's path and going from there. You will see everything, or as much as I am able to cover. Yeah. So far we have had Hand of the Devil, New Life, and The Monster is Dead. As well as You Are Not Worthy. It's a little interesting to think, what note are we going to end on, if it's going to be good or bad. But let us dive in and see. I'm going to be choosing green, because that is Sam's color.
Hold on there! Before you start the game.
Skip. Yes.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's Sam's route, right?
Oh. Awesome! Alright then.
I'm good.
Alright then. Oh.
Hi, Dee. And it's time for wedding plannings and naming the character. Sam's girl is named Emerald. And on we go. Yes. Thank you, Gabe. I would like a small wedding because people are scary. And my friends call, and yeah, let's go non-canonical for this. Yeah, we've had sex, so what? It's not like I'm living with him or anything. Also, don't shut slave. You want? Let's talk about what's bothering my guy now. He wants to do a ritual, so we demon marry. The next day we go to my grandfather's grave so I can ask Grandpa's permission, because yeah, my grandfather's kind of the reason the boys are here. Yay. So, you know what, I ever heard something and I want to talk about it. And if it turns out we can't do it anyway, so meh. We do wedding preparations until dark. And you know what? I have some lingerie in my room I got as a gift. I thought to sit for the honeymoon, but I think we need the pick-me-up, right? I get dressed, he comes in, introduction time, I get kidnapped. God damn it, it's my wedding day. I should point out I did not get kidnapped during sexy time. That would be far worse. I'm going to cry because God damn it, I'm supposed to be getting married. Back, they fail. They're gonna send me off to a guest room, and I'm okay with this. This is fine. And we go, it's the next morning, and Diaz asked me if I've slept well, and yeah, I think I did.
Good.
And I'm gonna go explore, because I'm bored. I'm gonna go left. I'm gonna go left again. And I watch them fight. Awesome. I don't trust mystery meat stew, so nah. I must pass on that. Try to stay home. They fail. The boys come through. The boys' wives come through. Haha, Sam is rightly so pissed at Diana. But, well, not rightly so, but I do understand why he immediately jumps to the conclusion of she did this. So I'm gonna stop him, because, no, that's Sam. And I'm just early juice here, it's time to make out. And we discuss what to do. I'm gonna keep saying trap, because I myself am cursed, and yeah, curses aren't fun. fight too. We're like awesome. And he's asking me if I'm okay. And I'm really not. And it's time, but I don't want to go to sleep. I want to stay up, so help me stay awake. Whatever shall we do in this big room to keep us awake? I don't know, let's try making out with him. And it's the next morning, and everyone comes into our room because... Oh right, we wanted to sleep in, but they wouldn't let us. Jerks. Oh yeah, and I think I heard a voice in the fire. I'm gonna tell them about it. Because this is creepy. And it might be magic. Dan and Sarah come in, because apparently my room is party central. Who knew? You know what? I don't need a trainer. I'm awesome. And they go outside and they meet Mirth. And I see how hard everyone else is trained. It's like, oh right, this is a war. Shit. Yeah, sure, I'll accept training from you, Mirth. You're cool, right? Right? This is fine. And it's the next day. No, actually it's the same day after training. I go to find my guy. I find him. He's finding Sarah. Dan is just kind of watching this. And you know what? I'm going to let the boys fight. I'm going to go hang out with Dee. Go get him, sweetie. Woo. And they fight. And I'm just going to wait patiently for him to calm down so we can talk about this. Yeah, we go back to our room, and Diana's doing something. I'm gonna be patient to see where is this going. And Diana is wildly inappropriate, takes my form, tries to seduce my man. She fails because he sees right through it. Yeah. And I'm gonna tell my guy the truth about why this is happening. They're horrible people, and the same voice I've been hearing in the fire's been talking to them and said they need to do this test for him. See, you know, are we worthy of this power? So, yeah, tell him the truth, because he deserves to know, right?
I'm sorry. Diana.
Yeah, I don't blame you for losing your shit. I would have lost my shit. You know what? It's okay, Sam. I too would have lost my shit if roles were reversed and I saw through her magic. And I go voyeur on my friends and family, and the voice is there, and there's gonna be a test. Yay.
You alright?
Am I alright? Yeah, I'm fine. This is fine. And you know what? I don't want you to change back. You should get to stay like this, because in the human world, yeah, he can't go about in his full incubus glory. So, you know what? There's no point in wasting energy to keep a glamour up. Let's just enjoy the view, shall we? Which I think he seems to enjoy. And you know what? How often are we going to get the chance to make out with him in full-on incubus glory? So let's take the initiative. And have all the sexy times with the sexy music. Yay! It's the next day. And I'm going to give him a kiss before we both head out to train, because I have a test tonight. Yay! And I also have a text. Editing note. And I cancel my Twitter. Yeah. So, we have a test tonight to prove my worthiness. Yay. And I play voyeur on the last of my friends and family. Because, why not? As we walk in, even though it's not depicted in this picture, there's stuff on the table for a demon marriage ritual. You know, that thing my husband was super interested in when we came here. Unfortunately, we don't have time to do it right now, so we go straight into the dream world. Yeah, this is not good. Sam is not with me. I guess my test is to go find him? So I'm gonna calm down. I'm gonna think, because I am smart. And I find him. Yay, go me. Unfortunately, yeah, part of the test is he is collared and made so he's immobile. When I find him, of course the collar instantly comes off. And in a cute little callback to the first game, boy, you are going to let me kiss you. Because he says the same exact line in the first game, only girl, when he's talking to my character for the first time. Aw, this is a very sweet little callback. Yay. And you know what? I saw what happens when I don't let him go get the dragon power, so I'm gonna let him do this. Although I kind of wish the option of I take the dragon power, but that's fine. He could do this, and I trust him. He goes, he gets the dragon's power. When we come back, Diana dismisses all of us but him. She loses her shit at him. Unfairly so, in my opinion. I, of course, have been eavesdropping this entire conversation. I want to step in, but, yeah, Damien's here, and he won't let me. But, I'm gonna struggle to step in, because that's my man, and you don't attack him. However, Damien stops me, pulls me aside, he explains, look, Diana has a lot of rage, and of the Incubi brothers, Sam is the most like their dad in the sense that he got a lot more of the brute demon in him than the succubus. So, yeah, what Sam is doing is leeching off Diana's anger and rage, and good. Hey, power him up, because we got a really big fight tomorrow. And I'd rather have Diana be fighting rage-free, as well as, my boyfriend powered up. Yeah. And since we're gonna have this big old room for one last night, let's wreck it, sweetie. And sexy time, and the morning comes, and we go, we fight, we run into Malix. I'm gonna stay back, and I'm gonna let Sam kick his ass. Because, yeah, go get him, sweetie. You're awesome. They fight. Our dad. Well, his dad, my father-in-law. Yeah, unfortunately in the fight, Diana kinda also gets knocked out the window, as well as the demon lord, and they get knocked into the abyssal sea. Not abyssal sea. We're in the abyssal plains. Decaying sea. I know what things are called. And yeah, they do discuss this in the game, that anything that goes into the decaying sea kind of becomes perma-stuck there. They can't get out, they can't communicate. Yeah, so... yeah. Huh. Also, when Sam was leeching away Diana's rage and pain, she kind of asked him to do something. That if she should perish in this battle and Sam and I survive, that he'd take the throne. Unfortunately, I want to go home. I don't like it here. I don't belong here. I would like to return to the human world. I understand with your upgrade to Dragon Lord. Oh yeah, my guy became the Dragon Lord, by the way, when he walked out of that cave. Cool, right? I still want to go home. Let's go to the human world. I don't think either of us is cut out to, rule a kingdom. And this is the first new dialogue of the LP. Yay. My heart belonged there. I was human after all. I knew that the demon world was important to Sam and Diana. But I would have never been truly happy here. I missed the blue sky. The sweet air of home called me back. A curse on me had been lifted. We fought in the war to return home. That was what we had to do. Sam smiled slightly and nodded. Incubi and wife smiled as well. But the rebel leaders lowered their heads and looked at each other in concern. I quickly turned to them, not wanting to leave them without a plan. 'Cause clearly, people that have fought this war for their independence need an outsider like me who's only been here for a week to tell them the right solution. Wow, that is so entitled. Work together to rebuild this world. Diana would have wanted that from all of you. A lump in my throat almost blocked me from finishing that sentence. It was deeply painful to refer to Diana as dead, as she gave her life for me. But the world needed a leader, and it had 4. Aw, but they're the Fantastic Four. The 4 rebel leaders looked to each other and nodded.
We will do our best. Thank you for trusting the world with us.
That's all anyone can do, really.
What are we gonna do first? We can do all kinds of really amazing things, like rebuild the forests. No, wait, have a party. Wait, no.
Exactly, Faye. Keep that energy.
Faye, quiet.
No, let her speak. You're all equal voices here.
Oh, lighten up. The war is over. We have a reason to celebrate.
Exactly. I smiled, happy to know that the world was in good hands. However, Faye took a breath and looked to me with a small smile before forming a small lavender-colored lily in her hands.
Before you go, though, since Diana is, well,
In limbo?
she wanted to give you this.
Unable to die, unable to live? I stared at the flower in surprise. What was it? I reached out and took it into my hands, practically feeling magic and energy run through it. It's lovely.
A flower of Lilith. But how can that be?
They were said to have died out generations ago.
Yeah, and Diana's uber powerful magical. This should not surprise anybody. I continued to stare at the flower, entranced by its spell. It was such a gorgeous-looking flower, I could barely tear my eyes away.
Put it behind your ear. I think she said it was magical or something.
Cool? I tilted my head before nodded, and lifting it to tuck it behind my ear. As it settled against my hair, I felt mist circle my head and form into a flower crown of lavender lilies. The way everyone looked at me made me feel like I was embridled there already.
Whoa.
Amazing!
Aww. I looked to Sam, see him grin from ear to ear at the sight of me. I blushed, feeling somehow timid with the flower crown on my head, but happy to know that it had rendered my husband speechless. However, as I lifted my hand to the flowers, feeling their soft petals, I could feel the world fade to a white color. Huh? From the direction of where Diana had fallen, a figure stepped towards me, bathed in light. I covered my eyes with my arm for a moment, before seeing who it was. Diana. With a smile, Diana stopped in front of me and gently ran her hand along her crown, over the petals of the flowers. I stared wide-eyed at Diana, unbelieving that I was seeing her. I mean, am I really? Maybe I'm just hallucinating this.
I expected you to choose the human world. Really, dear. So predictable.
I know, right? Sorry. Diana. Diana chuckled, stopping me from whatever I was planning on saying, before cupping my chin to make me gaze into her eyes.
Well then, promise me that you will take care of the brute. He needs a strong woman guiding him.
Of course he does.
And you've been blessed by the flowers of Lilith. So it seems you're up to the task.
Aw, good to know. Also, what? I felt tears form and drip down my cheeks, but I nodded. Something in my heart lifted, and I felt at ease with everything. I had made the right choice. With a smile, Diana tilted forward and kissed my forehead, beneath the crown before stepping away.
May you be happy with your choice, dear. And thank you.
I'd wish you luck, but you're kind of in the decaying scene. Diana slowly turned and began to walk away, further into the light of the area. Sarah, who was also bathed in light, slowly appeared and waited for Diana with an arm out for her. Diana took in his hand and smiled up at him, before looking back to me, nodding, and walking away. As they both vanished into the light, the world around me reappeared with everyone staring at me in shock. Why are they staring at me in shock? Diana, what did you do?
Whoa, hey. Are you alright?
Just having a vision. Huh? I quickly looked at Sam, before lifting my hand to my cheek, feeling the trails my rogue tears left behind over my skin. I wet my eyes and cheeks before nodding, laughing softly. I'm fine. Sorry. I smiled brightly, taking in a breath and looking up at Sam while taking his hands. Let's go home.
Well, you did it! Congratulations! You've made it to the end of your story. I have to say, I am very surprised at how it turned out.
Really?
Nevertheless, I'm glad things worked out in the end, whether it was for the better or otherwise.
What do you mean?
You and Sam deserve to be happy.
Exactly.
I mean, you both went through a dragon's trial to be together. A dragon's trial. Those are tough,
right? I know, it's so hard.
Still, it all worked out, right?
Uh-huh.
You defeated the Demon Lord and got to return home to the human world.
Exactly.
Anyways, you've been through a lot, so why don't we skip to...
Hey, I have not used the skip button yet because I want to see where this is going.
Huh? You want to know what happened after the war? Well, I mean, I guess I could tell you.
Thank you.
After the war was finished, the entire rebellion celebrated. Word spread far and wide about the rebellion's success, and soon every kingdom in the abyssal plains had become united with the new authority.
Cool. Actually, I'm going to use the skip button because, like I said, if you're interested in seeing everything the path has to offer, start on the first video. Ooh, achievement unlocked. A peaceful council. Since Diane and Sarah fell to their demise, and you decided to return to the human world with Sam, the rebel leaders took up the mantle together. Oh, wait, this is voice.
You would think demons would be more hostile towards each other, being demons and all, but the threat of the Demon Lord was what brought the entire world together.
Aw, sometimes it just takes a madman.
Since Diana and Sarah fell to their demise,
Yeah.
and you decided to return to the human world with Sam, the rebel leaders took up the mantle together and vowed to bring
them.
peace and prosperity to the demon world.
And I got an achievement for that, so yay!
While it was a tough time for them, as a majority of the world still mourned the loss of the rebel queen, they managed to bring the world together and bring a steady peace to the demons within it.
Exactly.
They worked diligently to this day, trying to bring equality to the entire world and create a world their queen would have been proud of.
And I hope they're successful.
And I believe that is everything that happened after, well, except for your story anyway.
Cool. What's my story?
Sam and you returned home and prepared to get married at last.
Oh,
No
finally.
distractions, no kidnappings.
I mean...
Huh? How do I know? Well, I have my ways. Maybe you should check it out.
Yes, I should go check it out. By the time I returned to the human world, I had regained all of my pre-wedding jitters. As well as, I had to go get a new dress. My mind began to furiously worry about the wedding again, all the way until it came time to walk down the aisle. After that, it was surprisingly smooth sailing. I would forever remember the moment the bells chimed, and the taste of Sam's lips over mine, as we were pronounced wife and husband. The ceremony erupted in cheers, and the reception carried that energy into the night. I could go on and on about the wedding, about the honeymoon, but honestly, after the war, I was more concerned of living my life afterwards. Our lives escalated to bright new heights after we officially became husband and wife. Sam began to climb the ladder of the public service chain, and eventually became chief of police. Aw, good for him! Everyone at work respected him, even the criminals that came in after being arrested. Aw. As for me, I began to go through my own successes in life, dedicating myself to becoming exactly what I wanted to be. After all, my husband was a cop who was also secretly a demon. If I put the same amount of work in it as I did in the demon world, then I was going to be okay. However, there was never a day that went by that I didn't think about what was happening in the Abyssal Plains. It was a heavy chapter of my life, one that tested the love between me and Sam. To think that I was married to the Lord of Dragons. So does that make me Lady of Dragons? Yeah, I care about this. Apparently it was a very powerful title to own, and I happened to be in love with the man who carried it. A title like that, I was sure, carried a large amount of responsibility. Still, I was confident that we would get through it and stay together, no matter what came our way. Demon, devil, dragon. It didn't matter to us. We were unstoppable together. Amen. The faint memory of my own power slightly tingled through me every time I grew confident, eagerly reminding me that I had strength of my own. I would never let anyone come between me and Sam ever again. Aw, the kitchen! I miss the old set. Standing over the stove, I took a moment to let my mind wander as the breakfast I was preparing slowly cooked. Sam was still passed out in bed, tired from working the day before, so I let him sleep peacefully. Aw, I'm a good wife. It was adorable remembering his sleeping face, the goofy grin, his hair rustled and wild, expression surprisingly peaceful. I could only chuckle as I began to plate our food and arrange the breakfast tray and carry it all. The plates weren't a problem, and the glasses and jug of orange juice made it a challenge. I, however, was confident enough in my skills to carry breakfast to our room to surprise Sam. Everything smells great. Let's hope it tastes good, too. I slowly made my way to the bedroom, climbing the stairs one step at a time. While it was usually true that you lose balance the slower you go when carrying something, I didn't want to just bolt up the stairs in the hope of getting everything there in one piece. As I finally arrived, I quietly slipped into the room. At the sight of the still sleeping Sam, I smiled and let out a silent sigh of relief before walking in and placing the tray of food on the nearby nightstand. The sight of Diana's lily caught my attention. It was in a beautiful vase Sam and I custom ordered, decorating the nightstand perfectly. Because of its magical nature, it was still alive and looked as freshly bloomed as the day I received it. Despite it being a bittersweet day, Sam and I cherished the lily and cared for it a lot. It was a physical memory of an important chapter in my life, and I felt blessed to still have it. I let out another sigh before walking around the bed and sitting in the spot I usually slept in, before gently nudging Sam. Sam? Sam, it's almost 10 a.m. Come on. When Sam didn't move, I simply chuckled. He was indeed a deep sleeper. I gently leaned in and kissed Sam's cheek, hoping to break the spell of sleep on him with a true love's kiss. Mwah! It's time to get up, Sam.
5 more minutes.
I made your breakfast. You do? Get up. Aw. Look at that face. I could only laugh before crawling further onto the bed and sitting beside him. While breakfast was waiting, Sam deserved to sleep a bit longer. He had been working hard ever since his promotion, so it was no surprise to see him struggle to get up. I ruffled Sam's hair a bit, making him groan and push my hand off tiredly. But that only spurred me to laugh harder. As I did, Sam finally opened an eye and stared up at me, an exhausted haze evident in his gaze. I covered my mouth and giggled, a little apologetic for waking him up with my laughter. Sorry, I'll be quiet. Sam shook his head and yawned, stretching his arms up and shutting his eyes, before opening them again, and lazily looking up at me from his pillow.
Morning, doofus.
Morning, dingus. Morning, Sam. I made breakfast. Sam sniffed the air and turned his head to look at the tray, before nodding and returning to his lazy pose on the bed.
Smells good. Bet it tastes even better.
I bet you're right. I would hope so. Sam gave me a toothy grin before gently pulling me down to lie beside him. Whoa, Sam. I guess Sam has something else in mind for breakfast. I was silenced by Sam nuzzling my shoulder and pulling me close to cuddle against my body. My face began to heat as I felt his warmth around.
We'll eat in a bit. I want to stay here for a while.
And I will not deny you that, sir. I took the moment in before nodding and wrapping my arms around him, nuzzling his chest. Sam smiled and kissed my hand, relaxing into the embrace. He felt perfect in my arms, and nothing could have been better than being held by him. It was like lying in paradise. Did you sleep okay?
You?
Our words became simple, but our embrace only intensified our love for each other. The bed became like a cloud, and the room almost lost its shape in my eyes, as all I could focus on was Sam.
I love you. You know that, right?
Of course I do. That doesn't mean I don't like hearing it. I love you too.
I mean it. I love you and care about you so much.
Yeah, you kind of passed up being king of the demon world for me, so I'd hope so. I looked up at Sam, seeing the love he spoke of burn brightly in his eyes. As he locked his gaze with mine, I felt my heart beating wildly in my chest, before leaning up and nuzzling his forehead with his, with a peaceful and happy smile. And I you, Sam, more than anyone will ever know. There was nothing more that needed to be said. Our feelings were simple but powerful enough to move continents. Our love may have seemed plain at a glance, but within our hearts burned the flames of our devotion and passion for one another. I couldn't stop my smile from growing before I leaning in and kissing Sam lovingly. He kissed back with the same amount of love and passion I had. No matter what, we would always find each other. We would always wind up back in each other's arms, and we would fly through every obstacle in our way on the wings of our love. Oh, wow, that's horrible. I'm sorry, that's just so freaking corny. And that was my perfect happily ever after. And just you and me, and and we get theme song, so canonically good ending. Go team. And because I don't want to get this demonetized, I'm gonna skip the song. Achievement unlocked, just you and me. And that wraps up Sam's route. Yay! Hey, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 6 circles, and there's only, and this is the 5th of the walkthrough, so next time we will be beginning our final path. Can you believe it? We're here already. With Sam being my least favorite character, I was not exactly enthused starting this part of the Let's Play. I will say, having gone through it, it is overall, well, grammatical stuff aside, very well written. You really do get to see a lot of just so much characterization with Sam and why he is the way he is, as well as, the insight into the wives and their husbands, which I really wish we could have seen something for that in all the paths. So that was a very nice, interesting little take to have twisted in there. I also like that we got to meet Mirth in this verse. And I think that's about all I have to say right now. My apologies for rushing through this, but I am on something of a time crunch this morning. So I will until next time, Kiddo.